what I've got to do, if we look at this, let's check it out. Let's check it out. Where are we? Where are we? We're here. All right. Side quests is I've got to check out some of this shit now. It says on this one that I've got to retrieve a hollow cannonball from Montmartre. I don't know where the hell that is. Like, and there's also something else I got to do in Montmartre. What's the other one? Oh yeah, she's still alive somewhere deep within the quarries in Montmartre. That's what happened. Monsieur de Laclos, wherever he is. So we're just gonna wander around and see if we can find some shit. Also, like, you might notice my level has gone up. Where was my stats? There we go. I've gone to level 49 now. And that's because I was just like having a look. There's a glitch, so what I've done is I put into my quick tool, quick thing, quick menu. I've put a what's it called? Like spirit of revolutionary spirit or some shit. Where is it? It's down here. Yeah, essence of a revolutionary spirit. So I put that into the belt. I press square to use it, and immediately press the touchpad, and it uses it. But it doesn't. This is so stupid. It's like some testers should have figured this out. Like, so you can just keep doing that, and just get basically unlimited anima. I don't think it really matters at the point we're at in the game, because near the end. I've just got to do Versailles, but I'm just like fucking around and just trying to do these side quests. So I don't think it really matters. What I did was I put my power up because I haven't touched power at all, just to see if it had any real effect. But to be honest with you, I don't think it matters. Like, this game is already pretty fucking broken. But just being able to grenade the fuck out of any boss that kind of turns up. Well, like, not do much impact. I think agility has an effect on impact. You don't really do much impact. I've got the halberd, which I think is a heavy, weapon, maybe. Oh, you little grab. I'm not really trying to kill this. Just grenade you. Just like grenade fucking anything in this game. Because what I want to do is obviously I want to get platinum on this game. It's an alright game. It's kind of fun. It's not too bad. There's nothing else really out at the moment that I'm desperate to play. Although Chorus is now like £10 on the PS Plus store, so I think I'm going to play a bit of that. Because Chorus was pretty cool. I want to have a go on it. Can I go down? Yeah, go down. Maybe I need to explore up here a little bit. Also, I need to replay this game through the entire way without using any bloody oil barrette. There's my things from earlier, because basically I loaded in and it just killed me because it made me fall straight through the elevator. Not that we really give a shit about Anna at this point. But yeah, I haven't really explored this part of the game too much, so I'm going to. As you can see, there's just stuff lying around that I haven't picked up. So I've got to try and find some people, some hollow cannonballs. I could probably Google it. Why bother? I can just wander around. If I get bored, can't find it, then yeah, I'll Google stuff. But until that point, I'm just gonna batter stuff with my halberd. thing about this game is there's not much that has like fun movesets. Like there's nothing that kind of feels really cool. Like you know, say what you want about say games like The Surge. Like The Surge 2, possibly one of my favorite Souls-likes. Like that has some fucking amazing movesets. Like and the weapons, really just fucking fun to use. But I don't feel that any of the movesets are really that cool in this. Like, maybe I just can't do combos with the R2s because I haven't got enough stamina, possibly. I don't know. But yeah, it does seem like I can mix up like, the combos too much. Like, either, there was the kind of the falchion and the other one, but which weapon type, which is I've got like where is it? Where is it? Okay, so I'm gonna try out the Boreoris wheel, but the fire and ice, like it's got an alright moveset, I suppose. And like the lightning chain, I'll have a go on that a little bit. But like that's done so much better in Neo. Like it just this game is incredibly mediocre. Like I said before, like, even Time Easier, like which is a very short game and has very bad level design. Like even that like feels like combat wise a lot better like than this. Combat wise, this game kinda sucks. Like, for instance, like the fact that I can just do this whenever I get too bored, like it's hilarious to me. And just keep throwing grenades. Just keep throwing grenades. Why not? Although I don't want to use up all those grenades, I'll use some frost grenades. So stupid. Oh, is this going to be a cannonball in here? No, I suppose this game like makes me hope that Lies of P is pretty good, because Lies of P looks okay, which is like that kind of Pinocchio game. Right, yeah, dude, some kind of memory. I don't know what that is. It's not a cannonball though. Like it's just kind of Pinocchio, Bloodborne-y sort of game, which might be cool. It might be good. I'm hoping it is. I really am. And I've seen trailers for like the new Deck 13 game. Guys that made The Surge, and that looks alright. It's only a cinematic trailer, so you know we hold all judgment until we get to see some gameplay. There was a little bit of gameplay, I think, in it. Like it looked like it might be interesting, but there was only like a little bit of gameplay at the end of the trailer. But it does look pretty cool. But there is like a pixel art game that I was kind of looking into. It looked pretty cool. It's like the Redundant or something. I've forgotten like the name of it. I think it began with an R. It's set in a Blade Runner type future, but it looks like it might only be on Xbox. Like, and that's happening more and more. Like I see really cool games that's like only on Xbox and stuff, and I'm thinking, fucking Bill Gates must have put a lot of money into getting these exclusives. It's very frustrating. But hopefully Tokyo Game Show, we're gonna see what PlayStation have in store. There might be some pretty cool shit coming there. I'm just hoping for Elden Ring DLC to be announced on the 16th of September. That's what I'm really watching out for. I'm gonna get frozen. That's an interesting choice. still not quite sure what fulmination does. Like when they're electrified like that, I'm not quite sure what it's doing. I could probably actually look it up, couldn't I? I could probably look in the old codex and it'd probably tell me. I can't bother. Which is a stupid thing to say, like I should actually do it. The essence of revolutionary spirit, I need it. Ooh. How do I get up there? Oh, there's a... There we go. Grapple. Cannonball? No. You are not a cannonball. I feel like they could have done more with the traversal stuff in this game. Like, had some really nice platforming sections or something, but they don't. Like, where you could mix up, like, the platforming a little bit. That would be pretty cool, but they don't. Like, and the levels, I kind of just feel like quite often, like, corridory just a little bit. Although, like, I do like them a lot better than Timesia. They actually feel like places. They each have, like, kind of a kind of a feel to them, which I respect. Like, and each kind of like they're not just like slapped together bits of corridor. They actually look like built kind of environments, that sort of thing. Oh, come on! What do you mean? You know, like this cave feels like a nice cave. Like and it all, like, you know, it is like kind of one bit after the other. Like, I much prefer it when, you know, from the beginning of the level you can go to the end of the level and you can do stuff, and it's kind of more of a loop kind of build rather than like a corridor kind of build, which is something that the Star Wars Last Jedi really suffered from. The way it was, like, just so corridor-like. Like, and when I say corridor-like, I don't mean just a corridor. What I mean is, like, there's basically straight line from the kind of beginning to end. Even though it winds around a little bit, and, like, you know, might be like little twiddly bits in it here and there. On the whole, you go from the beginning to the end, and it's kind of just basically one direction, a corridor. That's kind of what I mean. And I'm not a big fan of that kind of level design. I prefer it when it's more of a maze that kind of like connects up together. You know, you could be really near the end of it, but you could also be near the beginning. Just depending on the route. Like, I think one of my perfect levels, the perfect level, wow, there's no such thing as the perfect level, but a perfect level for me is Yharnam in Bloodborne. Like, Yharnam is almost a perfect level. It's absolutely amazing. It's got a lot of verticality. It's got different sorts of areas. Like, it's got the sewers underneath. It's got like the warehouses. It's got the streets. Like, and it's kind of got a bit of the clinic as well. Like, it feels like there's nice progression through the level, but it also attaches together in lots of kind of different ways. And it's just got some beautiful kind of like visual storytelling happening in it as well, but it's not too big. It feels quite big. Like, when you're first playing through it, it feels like you're just like exploring kind of almost endlessly as you're first doing it. But as you get to know it, you realize how compact it is, how interconnected it all is completely, and how,
are you making progress?
you know, how well designed it is. It's not really sprawling. It's really, really tight.
Who is Monsieur de Laclos?
A brilliant writer, but is also an experienced military engineer. To his great misfortune, it would appear. There is little doubt.
Who are your companions?
Patriots who come and go in the quarries. Alas, there are few left. My hours are numbered.
Members and...
Would you be so kind as to name them?
In addition to... the market...
Say without...
He says that dude died underground. But yeah, so perfect level design. I think this is locked, isn't it? Okay. It's probably Yarnum. I'm trying to think of like others. Like there's a level in the first Doom 2016, which is really nice. It's kind of like it's the place where you first use the double jump, I believe, that kind of level, which is really, really well designed. In fact, like quite a lot of like Doom 2016 is amazingly designed and feels really, really nice. I didn't really like Doom Eternal as much, even though the combat was sick and they had some really nice additions and some nice bits of platforming. It didn't feel... the levels were again like really corridory in that, like you go from one part to the other, especially like that. I think that Mars invasion bit. My memory is really vague on that. I've only played through it kind of once, but it did feel like the levels were, you know, you started at one end and ended at the other, rather than being like kind of areas that you search through and progress through by opening doors and like going through different areas and stuff like that. I did feel that the first Doom 2016 level design was far superior in a few places. Although even in that game there was like quite a few like corridory bits where it's just like from beginning to end. But it felt really nice. Like it, and also I think in Doom Eternal they made a lot of levels far too fucking long, annoyingly long in places. Oh, there's something over there that I haven't collected. Are you a cannonball? Oh, chest. Oh, the sublimator. Okay, so I can upgrade that. Still not a cannonball though. Module key, not a cannonball. Ah, shit. Oh, that sucks. Whoa, how come I start in here? Okay, fair enough. And all the sound seems to have gone. There is no sound. Alright, a little bit of sound there. Oh, using all my health. Yeah, so, okay, those sounds. No sounds of my weapons. See, it's a glitzy fucking game as well. Send the carriage. Okay. Just received the professional care trophy, but still we are missing sounds. See, I might need to play Bloodborne after this, just to remind myself of a good game. But yeah, don't get me wrong. Like I do like looking at, even just looking at this level now. I like the look of it. I like the scale of it. it kind of feels like kind of nice. Like it's very very different to kind of like say a Bloodborne style level. But that's not a bad thing. You know, I do like this sort of combat within these kind of confines. It's pretty cool. And I do like this sort of, you know, this is a very different sort of level design. It's almost like closer to a realist level design, whereas I kind of feel, I might be wrong about this, but I do kind of feel that like From Software ones that are more kind of impressionistic, they definitely don't feel like real places, like in any way, like, and that they don't feel kind of lived in. They feel like if you like kind of got bits of real places and put them together, quite often. And I don't think that's a bad thing because like they're trying to create like little mazes, little kind of like you know levels. Um, they're not trying to recreate real places, real lived-in places or anything. It's supposed to give the impression of being lived in, the impression of a place, the impression of a story, and a lot of it is storytelling. That's what that one thing that I think a lot of these sorts of games like really miss when they try to do something similar. They kind of miss what I think like From Software kind of does really well with its impressionistic style, kind of environmental storytelling. Obviously, I'm just riffing here, just talking, and I'm just talking on my own, not really like talking to someone else who can ask me to explain things I'm not explaining or anything like that. So it's not a conversation; it's just me just chatting off the top of my head while concentrating on where I'm going and trying to figure out like where the hell I'm gonna find this cannonball, and also thinking, well, I need to reload this because all the sound is fucking gone, and but at the same time I need to go get my anima. So I'm concentrating on those things while also just talking about level design. So it might not be the most coherent thing I can come up with. But for me, yeah, From Software is a lot more impressionistic in the way that it puts places together. And above all, I think above all, it it puts the combat front and center. It puts the encounters kind of front and center. Um, it puts how you experience. Look, my anima is fucking down there. How the fuck am I supposed to get there? You stupid fucking game. If I had 60,000 fucking anima, like that for real, rather than just doing that stupid glitch, I think I'd be pissed off about that. Like, why would you put my anima all the way fucking down there? Let's see if I can. No, can't. What's that? And I can't pick up my anima. Not that matters. Let's see if it brings the sound back. No, it hasn't brought the sound back. Which is very, very unfortunate. Now I've got to try and figure out how to get that little blue thing. The little thing that's hanging out over there. But yeah, I think that's the right way of saying it, like the impressionistic way that they put together levels. Now, Elden Ring, I think, is slightly different from that, and that's a departure because it's a slightly different sort of game. Um, and I think like Demon Souls isn't quite so good at the impressionistic kind of side. But remember, that's like one of the first games that they did that sort of like level design in. Like, but there's a really good sense of place in Demon Souls, and you get a sense of the places you're exploring, like not just from exploring them. This is something Time Easier got wrong, but like you get to see quite a lot of the places you're going to be in from the outside in some way, or you get to eventually get to the outside and see bits of it. Like I'm thinking about the prison place. Like you got to kind of an outsider kind of area, like in there, and like in Demon Souls, like all of them like felt quite different, which is pretty cool. Like all different areas, which is which you want from like your level design. You want your levels to feel like they're their own places, and you know, I think From Software's really good at doing that, at having these transitions between places, and they feel really nice transitions, and the areas, like even the transitional kind of spaces, like do it kind of really well. I don't know, like if you think about the transition between the cathedral ward and I think I want to go over there, cathedral ward and Old Yarnum. Like that's a really good transition, I think, like, and a really good transitional space. Like just going down, like through that church, it just feels really fucking cool, I think. And it just, yeah, it works really well. And also, like, there's something about it. It feels like kind of removed from the place where you've gone, and that's also telling a bit of the story, because I think like Old Yarnum is telling a story of the past of Yarnum, not the present of Yarnum, um, which I think is another interesting kind of like storytelling technique. Like there is something a little bit of the genius, I think, in the way that they tell stories with their environments, with their levels, and the way they put things together. Oh, there's something to kill here. It's just really hard without actually having the sounds to help you time stuff. I haven't been down here before. So, and I do like the way that, like, even I think in Elden Ring, you get a sense of exploring, like, maybe different dynasties, different times, um, you know, different epochs, maybe, of this, like, kind of land that you're exploring. And because, like, all these people that they give you as, like, bosses and things like that, they're not necessarily existing in the same time period. At least not from a story point of view, from what I can tell. You're exploring almost the history of a whole place, or the history of its end times, maybe. Lots to pick apart in, like, From Software games, really. And I think that's like part of their charm. The fact that it's not just some easy kind of spoon-fed, like a story, a little bit like this game, so maybe. Which, there's a place for all types of storytelling, all types of doing things. I think for me, the way that you can ignore the story in From Software games is really empowering. I think the way that it's there, the way there's a whole very very rich story to be told, but at the same time, you can completely ignore it if you want. Oh, shit. You can just oh fuck! I haven't got any sound to tell me when the fuck is this doing shit. Not that matters. Take it. Yeah, like it's almost as if the story is optional to you. Like, because to me, I just really enjoy going through these games, exploring them, and fighting stuff minute to minute. I really enjoy that aspect of it. And also, like for the From Software games, it's a PvP aspect, like the evading aspect, all that kind of stuff. Like that all like is enough of a game for me. I don't need like a story. I don't need to be, have people talking and all that bullshit. Like telling me their backstory and telling me all their motives and all that kind of shit. It's like, I honestly do not give a fuck, dude. Just don't want to hit stuff. I don't want to hit stuff well. and I want to feel like a badass while I'm hitting stuff, and that's basically it. Which I know not a lot of people, like, not everyone like feels that way, and I don't expect everyone to just share my point of view. But I think that's a great thing about From Software games. It caters. Like, if you're really deep into story, if you're really deep into lore and like all that kind of stuff, like, fuck me, it's all there. Like, but if you're not into that stuff, you just ignore the hell out of it. Because it's just, you know, you choose exactly your own level of involvement. Hey, that's quite good quote, I think. But yeah, you choose it, and you choose your, like, the thing is, the PvP is completely optional. The multiplayer is completely optional. Like, so much of it is optional. It's just what you want to engage in. Like, which I find really refreshing. Like, because so many games are just prescriptive as fuck. So they just want you, like, it's like you can see the ego of the game maker there going, oh, well, I want them to experience every little thing that I've created. I want them to experience every little bit of it. And it's not their story, it's my story. It's what I've done, it's what I've put together, and they must worship me. Like, they're like kind of Iron from fucking Mythic Quest. Although, like, he's not like that. Like, too much. He is in the beginning, I think, like an ego monster, but I think as the show has progressed, like, he's become a little bit more redeemable, I think, which I think is one of the strengths of that show, to be honest with you. Oh, shit. Yeah, I couldn't hear that thing. But that's going on a completely different other topic and another tangent together. But yeah, you can almost feel like they're just scared of you not experiencing everything and not seeing everything. And whereas in From Software games, I feel like it's my adventure. It's mine. It's totally mine. I go into that world and I decide, I choose what I'm going to get involved in, what I'm not going to get involved in, what I'm going to do, what I'm not going to do. And the game's completely fine with me doing that. Game's like, yeah, you do you, bro. Like, you do you. Like, but if you ever get sick of doing that, like, this stuff's over here, you can come check it out. Hey, why don't you read all the descriptions on this stuff? Try and figure out, like, like where this came from and who these people are and how they're connected and stuff. It's up to you. But you don't have to. You can do what you want. Like, and the same with a lot of the invading stuff, a lot of the kind of co-op. So, oh yeah, you could bring someone in to help you if you wanted. Like, just saying, but you don't have to. Like, no pressure, which is really cool. Like, like there's options. There's a lot of options in that game. Like, and it rewards your creativity. A lot of software games, it rewards you going, what if I did that? What if I put that and that together? What if I tried to do this? And you oftentimes find that there is a result for it that's often pretty cool, pretty interesting. Like, and you end up like playing the game in an interesting way and finding out stuff. There's a lot of rewards for your own creativity and intelligence and just interest. I think that's important. That's an important aspect of game design, which is left out of a lot of, especially big games. Like going from Elden Ring to Horizon, fuck me, was that a culture shock? Like, totally massive culture shock. Absolutely, like, I loved the first Horizon games, absolutely amazing. But I think like going from Elden Ring to the second Horizon, like, that was jarring to say the least. Alright, so I've got to find this dude and I've got to find this cannonball. Right, I'm not having much luck so far finding either. And also, I've lost all of my sound, which is incredibly frustrating. And I think I'm going around in fucking circles a little bit here. Let me kind of see if I can reload the sound up, because that would be incredibly helpful. Like, because for me, like, I think I'm of the generation of gamer who we used to get games, and like, I remember back in the Amiga days, you just get like a box of blue discs, and you just have like maybe a title on the disc, and you'd be like, okay, what's this? Let's try and find out what this game is first of all, and then you were you have to like figure out like the controls, like maybe it tell you some in the pause menu somewhere, but not always. And then you had a whole keyboard to kind of explore as to what could, possibly do things. And then, like, you'd have to, know what genre it is, know what's going on, like, find the mechanics in the game. You'd have to, you'd have no story to it. You would have to try and figure out the story yourself. Like, based on the clues within these levels, within these interactions that you had with the game, try and figure that out, like, quite often. And it was kind of refreshing. Like, you had to read everything because there wasn't all the voice acting in and stuff like that, and there wasn't like loads of stuff being like kind of given to you in cutscenes and things like that. So you could like miss like vital information like quite easily if you just didn't read stuff or didn't check stuff out. But everyone kind of forgets that like this whole recorded tapes and stuff like didn't come out to like mid 2000s kind of thing. Like I think like System Shock had it a bit, but like BioShock definitely like was telling its story that way. And then like all the cutscenes and all that kind of stuff. It's like Ghosts and Goblins. It's like who knows what the fuck's going on there? You're a dude and you just got to go through all these levels of shit. You start in a graveyard. And then, like, you're going through, like, loads of stuff, and then you end up in a big fucking castle, and, like, you're fighting a big vampire dude and shit. And it's like, alright, what's the fucking story here, bro? What's happening? And you have to figure it out, like, maybe from the environment, maybe from your interactions. Like, and you came up with it, and you came up with these theories and stuff. Like, remember Altered Beast 2? Like, I just had it on some blue discs, I put it into Amiga, and, like, someone, or some baby got kidnapped from a house, and that was kind of this pixel art like cutscene. That was it. Then you're in it. And you're in this weird fucking world. It's got like rock hard puzzles to kind of solve, and you had to do everything in the right order, or it wouldn't work, and all this kind of shit. And like fucking, I was in heaven playing that game. One of my favorite games of all time. And that I think like a lot of games nowadays, they don't have the mystery. Like, and they don't give you the chance to create like your story that you're playing through. And I think like there is a phrase there or a saying which is the emergent narratives. Like what's really really important is emergent narratives in gaming. I personally think like really good game design takes into account emergent narratives, the narratives that emerge from you playing the game. Like the game designer, what they should be really into is they should be into making really interesting mechanics, making a really interesting world, making really interesting like ways to interact with that world, and then just let you loose to make your own stories. It's probably the reason why I really enjoy Rust. Why Rust is possibly one of my favorite games. Well, it's one of my favorite games, not possibly. Is because of that element, the fact that you entirely make up that story. Like, I know there's some shit going on there. There's like these cobalt scientists, and there's like an old launch which seems to have like be full of radiation. Like some shit's happened. Maybe it's post-apocalyptic, but it doesn't seem post-apocalyptic because there's fucking these scientists that chopper in and do stuff, and like seems to be technology from our time like there, but like this area doesn't seem to be. It's an experiment going on. All that, don't give a fuck. Like it's the real interactions come from you, like interacting with all the other people who are in the game, with the things that they're doing, the things they're building. Like I've had so many fucking amazing stories on that game, and not one of them has been authored by someone else. It's authored by my interaction with the game, and it's developers have totally made that something that I can do. That's not You know, they haven't been hands off. They've totally been hands on in making the technology for me to tell these fucking amazing stories. And that's the type of game that I really enjoyed. Like, so, like, I look for the ability to be incredibly creative in a game and to create my own stories, my own narratives. And I'm also confident enough in my ability to confident enough in my ability to tell stories. I'm happy with that. I'm much happier with my stories that I create in these games than I am with the stories that get fed to me. Like, you might have noticed in this game, I just skips cutscenes. I couldn't give a fuck. Like, you know, the interesting stories with games like this is like when I'm retrying against the boss a few times and I'm trying to work out his attack patterns and all this kind of stuff, and like, that's a story to me. That's an interesting kind of fucking story. Like, it's a narrative. It's like a fucking Rocky montage kind of situation. You know, it's like it's fucking cool. And these games allow me to have that kind of like narrative where like I improve and I become better as a player. And it's not just like the progression of my character. I get a fucking skill tree and I fucking, like, you know, learn new moves and all this kind of stuff. It's like, you just have to figure it out with your abilities, which you have right from the beginning. You have to figure out how to interact with those in the best way possible to come up with the best outcome for you. Now, where's my animal? Oh, 67 meters away over there. Okay. I'm guessing from this floor. Yeah, like games like DayZ and Rust, fucking perfect examples of emergent narrative games. Absolutely perfect examples. In fact, like any kind of like open world multiplayer game with like deep mechanics, and like total freedom, like they're my jam. Like, and they have so much. Minecraft, like, to be honest with you, like, Minecraft is fucking brilliant for that stuff. Like, even Terraria, like, to some extent, although that does have a, you know, a narrative going through it. And a few other games I can probably think of, I'm not thinking of right now, because I'm thinking, why can't I get up this fucking hill? Why is it making me slide down? I might just Google where to go. Wait a minute. There's my anima. I kind of like this music a little bit. It's pretty cool. Okay. Oh, you're throwing grenades at me? No, they're throwing grenades at me. I'm supposed to be throwing grenades at you. Don't give me that shit. Alright, little spider bot. Right, okay. There we go. The animal. Not that it matters, why am I even bothered? It's like I could make any amount of anima whenever I want. Alright. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get off and get some food after talking enough shit about, like, what I like about games, in games. In fact, I should actually stream Rust or something. I should really do that. Okay, I just streamed Rust. I think it's because I really like that solo kind of adventure and I get really immersed in the world. And when you're streaming, you're not totally immersed in the world, you're kind of immersed in streaming a little bit. Like, there's that extra narrative going on, like, at the top of the actual game. And I prefer to be just completely in that kind of game rather than the streaming kind of narrative. But, you know, we'll see. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some food.